Next up on the agenda is a presentation by Byron Stewart on the Mohave County Regional Air Ambulance Communications SOP.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to speak. I intended to have my assistant, the emergency management coordinator, Mike Browning, actually do this presentation. He was the one that sort of ramrodded this effort for Mohave County, but unfortunately he had to have some surgery a couple weeks ago, and he's still out recovering. So we've kind of got the backup guy in here today, so hopefully I'll be able to get through this okay. But Mohave County, in 2011, we completed our TIP for the county and identified a number of follow-up items that we need to address as part of that TIP, and one of them was our air ambulance communications protocols. We've got about 16 different fire departments and districts within Mohave County, as well as several police departments and the sheriff's office, all of whom communicate pretty much individually with our air ambulance services. And we have a number of air ambulance companies that service Mohave County. And we found as part of our TIP investigation, when we were putting that together, that a lot of our fire districts, and I think it's probably true in many fire districts across the state, tend to have a favorite frequency of their own that they want to talk to the air ambulance companies with. And so we were concerned by the fact that we might have a dozen or more different frequencies that were being in use for air ambulance companies. That might cause some confusion with the air ambulance pilots as they come into the area, and could potentially lead to some situations where we had communications delays, communications breakdowns that might cause a life-threatening situation for those air ambulances coming in to respond to the scene. So, Assistant Coordinator Brown, he heads up our communications subcommittee of the local emergency planning committee. And that communications subcommittee has been working for a number of years on narrowbanding and interoperability issues, and decided to take on the issue of the air ambulance protocols. And as part of that, Mike Browning contacted a number of the air ambulance services that service Mohave County and got their input on this, and got some very positive feedback from them. If we could cut down on the number of channels that they were having to deal with and establish a common protocol for various agencies in the county. We also talked to our fire and police agencies, and the sheriff's office also got some positive feedback, and as a result, the communication subcommittee developed a protocol, identified some primary and backup channels that were recommended to be used as part of the air ambulance communications SOP, and as a result, that was provided. As a result, recommendations were made to Mohave County Fire Officers Association, which is comprised of the fire chiefs from all of the fire districts and departments within the county. They voted to adopt the protocol. It was also recommended to our local emergency planning committee in one of its regular meetings, and it voted to adopt the protocol. As a result, Mike developed this PowerPoint, which is essentially a training aid that goes out to our fire districts and law enforcement agencies for them to educate their dispatch centers and their incident commanders on the protocol. And hopefully then we'll be passing that on as well to the air ambulance companies. So after this was recommended and adopted, I'll just run through real briefly the protocol on how it's supposed to work. But the requesting agency dispatch center will provide the air ambulance service provider incident scene information as well as an assigned air-to-ground channel at the time of service request. The dispatcher shall obtain and or verify this air-to-ground channel assignment with field-level command working incident prior to providing that information to the air ambulance service provider. The responding agency providing incident command of an incident requesting an air ambulance service shall provide to their dispatching agency an assigned air-to-ground channel as noted in the SOP, and we'll be looking at that in a few slides. The incident commander or the designee shall monitor that channel for radio traffic and the responding service provider to ensure timely and clear air-to-ground communications is maintained. Air-to-ground communications is for or not established with the incoming air ambulance service provider. The incident commander shall contact his dispatch center for assistance while monitoring the assigned channel. First responders should not change their air-to-ground channel unless directed by the dispatch centers first. The agency dispatch center shall recontact the air ambulance service provider and verify channel assignment with the responding aircraft. Then, if necessary, recommend to the incident commander a secondary channel to establish communications. Now, these are the channels that we identified for Mohave County. We identified primary as B-Fire 21. And one of the issues that was brought up when we were discussing this at our communications subcommittee meeting, one of the air ambulance companies did send a couple of representatives to that meeting. And one of the things they had indicated to us was that when they had people responding, or pilots responding who were used to working in other parts of the state, or the eastern part of the state, or southern part of the state, that they were still used to the old nomenclature with that channel. They weren't used to the B-Fire 21 nomenclature. And some of you are aware the B-Fire 21 channel has a number of names that's been used over the years. I think in California it's called wideband, it's been called mutual fire aid, it's been called fire aid, it's been called a number of different channels. So I think until the education process proceeds fully across the state and all of the counties get their TIC keys in place and their first responders are all on board with the new nomenclature, there's going to be probably an issue with the air ambulance companies because they're used to one name and all of a sudden they're using another one, and that may not be what's programmed into their radios or what they're familiar with. But we decided to use the B-Fire 21 as the primary channel for Mohave County. The secondary channel is our WAX-D channel, and the WAX is actually a Mohave County mutual aid channel that's been in existence for over 20 years. And all of our fire departments and law enforcement agencies have access to it. We talked about using the AIRS as a secondary channel, but there were a couple of issues with that. One of the issues was that in our rural areas where we have a lot of air ambulance runs, there's not good coverage from AIRS, from some of our AIRS towers. So we were concerned that there would not be good coverage for the AIRS. The other thing was we have been encouraging our first responding agencies, when they have large incidents and AIRS coverage is available, to use that as a mutual aid channel for that particular incident. So that could be in use as a ground operations or as a command channel anyway. We wanted to have a distinct frequency and a distinct channel that was available for air ambulance that would not conflict. And we were afraid that the AIRS might do that. So then we had two backup channels, the BMED 28 and the BLAW 31. Then we followed up that if we did have any communications problems during the incident, those should be made a report to the incident commander, and he will follow up on that through his agency procedures to try to resolve the problem. Any unresolved problems with channel usage would be directed to the 911 Center Communications Coordinator and Dispatch Supervisor. Any problems with our WAX channel would be reported to Mohave County Fire Association, which is the one who really oversees the WAX channel. And that's pretty much it. If there's any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.